Happy Monday, October 20th. We are well into Beadtober, friends. I'm Deb Shares. This is my show here at artbeads.com, Designing with Deb. We get together every Monday morning. We do some designing, we do some shopping, we do some chit chat. We learn stuff, we make stuff. It's a fun time. So I appreciate all of you being here. Those of you that hang out with me every week, thank you for coming back. Those of you who are joining for the first time, thank you so much for finding us and coming and joining in on the show. It is Beadtober. If you are not familiar with Beadtober, hi Thaisa. The Beadtober is a little bit of a challenge for all of you. So we have put out some challenges, daily challenges, to help get your creative juices flowing, to get you thinking about maybe doing something a little bit different, using those beads you have. So maybe Thaisa can point you guys to all of the information for Beadtober if you haven't yet participated. So go and check that out. Good morning, everybody. I see Michelle just joined too. Thank you, Michelle and Thaisa, for moderating today. I appreciate you. Kara is here. Gina C is here. Oh, thank you, Gina C. Kim Caldwell, Carolyn, Connie, Debbie M. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for being here. Lisa in PA, Angela C, thank you so much for coming. Good morning, Fern. Good morning, Mary Jane. Okay, friends, so today we are going to be talking about memory wire, and I'm excited about that because memory wire is one of those things that is good to have in your arsenal. It's a good way to use your beads. And there might be a little something going on through the end of today that is memory wire related. Hi, Jean. Good morning. Good morning. So let's get some business out of the way. I always like to make sure you guys are completely in the know. So Beadtober wouldn't be Beadtober without a bead sale. So at artbeads.com right now through the end of today is the last day. 30% off of beads, 30% off of beads. That's big. And it's only through tonight. So make sure that you don't miss out. You don't need a coupon code or anything special like that. And friends, free USA shipping with orders $49 or more. So we all love our free shipping. I'm going to make a I heart free shipping t-shirt because I love that. There's also a gift with purchase over $75. You'll get that. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. But that is the deal. Michelle, thank you. The Beadtober blog is going to tell you everything you need to know about Beadtober. Because there's still time left in October, you can participate. And it's all about sharing and, stretching yourself and sharing. So if you're not part of the Serious Art Beaters Facebook group yet, go and join us there. If you're on Facebook, you can go to the Facebook browser and type in hashtag Serious Art Beaters and join this crowd. It's a cool crowd and there are lots of people sharing their designs for Beadtober. We see you out there, and there's going to be some prizes for those who have participated coming up after October is over and we've had a chance to take a look at everything. Hello, Tina. Hello, Connie from Georgia. Santa Barbara girl, thank you so much. This is our necklace from last week, and I was not live last week. I apologize for not being here live with all of you. I was away for a little getaway, but I am back live today, so happy to be here. And this is the necklace we made. This was made with the Rosewood Luster bead strand assortment. So if you haven't checked that one out, it is in the shopping cart or in the shopping bag, sorry. And you can pick this, you can still pick this one up. It's gorgeous. Look at these beads. They are incredible. So friends, One more thing before I flip my camera down. If you're watching at artbeads.com/live, that's the best place to watch the show live. So we can see your comments here, but we can't see your comments on Facebook or YouTube live. Come on over here, hang out with us over here. You can chit chat with me and Michelle and Thaisa. And you know, just hang out with each other, chit chat with each other. We see that all the time. It's such a great community. Thank you for being here and sharing it with us. You can also shop the show and click on the heart. Thank you guys. I see the hearts. You can shop the show at any point in time. You don't have to leave the show. There's a little shopping bag icon. It will have everything and more from the show today in there, and you can drop it in your own shopping cart while you watch. So you can also do that if you're watching the show on replay. So I'm going to flip my camera down. One more sip of coffee, because I have to have my coffee in the morning, you guys. Santa Barbara girl, I did go somewhere fun. I celebrated my 25th wedding anniversary with my hubby. We had a great time. Thank you so much for asking. All right, friends. So this is, we're going to be talking about memory wire today, but fitting is that Mixmaster Megan has cooked up some memory wire bracelet kits for you guys. This is your gift with purchase over $75. So this is super fun. Look at these amazing beads. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. So this is what you'll get, and it will come in a little fun bag. So I've got a couple of samples here. You may not get the exact one that I have made up here, but let me just quickly show you what you get in the kit. So you'll get some memory wire. And thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Kim Caldwell. You'll get some cube beads. You'll get some colorful beads to put onto your bracelet. Look at all of these fun Halloween colors. Oh my goodness. The oranges, the purples, the greens. Thank you, Susan J. And LJ, thank you. You'll also get a charm, and you'll get a little skull bead, which is the cutest skull bead ever, ever, ever. Look at him. He's so happy. So this one had a little pumpkin as a charm, but I think my other one here in the little purple bag has, this one has a fun charm. Let me show you guys this one. Megan, you did such a great job on these fun little kits. This has a crow. Look at that beautiful charm. It's very mystical, super fun, and you get a jump ring to do the attachment of it. And there's our little skull. So $75 or more will get you this kit. And it is just a super fun, really festive project for this time of year. Hi, Nancy. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Kat. Kat hopes she gets the crow. So this is another option. The witch's hat with a little skull hanging off the end of it. So incredibly cute. So you guys will all get these if you make a purchase of $75 or more. I absolutely love this memory wire kit. And before we get into our conversation about memory wire today, so we're going to do a little bit of an immersive on memory wire today. I have a brand new Czech Glass bead strand assortment, which I'm opening up for the first time. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this one. This is a great one for this time of year. I love black beads. I love dark colored beads this time of year because I wear a lot of black. So with a lot of black, I need black jewelry, or at least beads or jewelry with black beads in them. And oh my goodness, this is an incredible bead strand assortment. Mixmaster Megan does it again. So this is fantastic, you guys. Even if you don't want to use this all together, this is a great strand assortment to have in your stash, in your bead drawer, in your bead box. This is amazing. Monica, this is so fun. So check this out. You get all of this. This is exclusive. These are mixed up by Megan and her team, only available here at artbeads.com. So I want you guys to make sure that you get this one. So this is called Iridescent Noir. So very, very dark, very, very fabulous. But there's some sparkle and some finishes on these. So there are petal beads in black. So these are amazing. If you have a need for petal beads, there is a nice strand of petal beads here. These are nice to have in your cachet of beads. I used them in this necklace last week. Just trios of them throughout the course of the design to create some movement. Look at these flowers. Oh my goodness. The detail on these are all Czech Glass. They are gorgeous. The quality is amazing. Look at that fun flower. You could actually drop in a little rhinestone in the center of these. There's like a little indentation where you can drop that in, maybe a little chaton. Really, really cool. I think so too, LJ. It's a pretty one. This one has a mix of different shapes. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Different shapes. And some of these beads, well, actually all of them have like a finish on them. So they're very mystical, very, very cool. There's some teardrops. There's some leaves in different shapes. This is a cool strand just to have around when you need a couple of black beads. There's some pinch beads on there. Look at that leaf. Super fun. More little flowers, and look at these. So these are not straight black. These have that gorgeous finish, that iris finish on them. They are a fun spacer bead. Super, super cool. I love these. These are some of my favorite kinds of spacers to use. And look at these leaves. Oh my goodness. They're black on one side, and then they have this iridescent coating on the other, like that iris coating. So these are going to create some really cool designs. So if you get this one now, you have time to create some spooky designs still before Halloween. These would be very cool in your spooky designs. These are cool. So these are some small petal beads. So here's the larger ones. And then look at the smaller version. You could use these together to do something really interesting and fun. Really interesting, really fun. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Look at these. I absolutely love these. These are like little nuggets. And these are just super fun for any design. So you just need a fun glass nugget bead. You get a nice size strand. I think this is like an 8-inch strand. Super, super cool. All black, super shiny, and they have that natural nugget look. Really cool. This is some of my favorite, look. So rondelle with the hard flat edges, so that table cut kind of edge, and all of the faceting, and look at the coating on these. Oh my goodness, Susanna, you are not late. We're just getting started. Good morning, good morning. This is a phenomenal strand of beads right here. This is worth the price of admission right here. These are gorgeous. Megan, I love these. These are so fabulous. So those look extra cool, extra fun. I love a good cube. Here's a nice long strand of cubes. These look to be like maybe 5mm cubes. Super pretty, super shiny, just a nice black cube. Look at that. Just drop a single bead in between, maybe add these in. So look at these leaves. These make my heart sing. They are black on one side and they have that iris coating on the other. So take one of those leaves, just one, and drop it in between your cubes, maybe 3 right here, and you've got a really cool, fun bracelet. Hello, Bonnie from New Jersey. So all of these beads are part of the Iridescent Noir bead strand assortment, new today. Actually, I think it may have been out there for a couple of days, but I'm introducing it to you up close and live today. So I'm hoping that you guys will want to get this one home. I am in love with this. This is fabulous. Great to make an all black design or to give you all of the black beads you might need for the fall and winter seasons coming up. So this is so, so cool. And, and Monica's saying she has to get them for sure. Monica, you will flip out when you see these. They are so gorgeous in person. We like to show them live, but they're still so much more beautiful in person. Take them outside and take a look at them out there. You will go crazy. All right, friends. Today we're talking about memory wire. So Megan put together those fun gift with purchase memory wire bracelets. I wanted to talk a little bit about elevating your memory wire style. So using memory wire is really a nice beginner-friendly technique or material to work with to create fun designs. This is a bracelet I made a while back. I wanted to start things off today showing you this. So when you think about memory wire, you're probably thinking create a loop, add some beads, create another loop, put it on and go. And that's absolutely cool. That's absolutely all day long what you can do. But it's all about how you put things together. And if you want to take it to the next level, you want to elevate your design a little bit, you can do all kinds of cool things that add to your memory wire bracelet technique. So you can still do a loop and still do a loop at the other end. But what if you start to introduce seed beads in between your beads? You start to add all kinds of fun shapes. So we've got flowers on this one. We've got little, we've got those little spaceship or planetary beads. These are all Raven's Journey beads. I did not put these in the show today, but look what else I did here. So I actually dropped on some little metal components here as well. So just some little metal things to add some movement. So these are little slide type charms that go right on. And when I put them in between the seed beads, they look super cool. And they just add a little something extra. Also at your ends, so we saw in Megan's gift with purchase kit, there is a little charm at the end. You can add charms. You can add beads. So you can take your beads, wire wrap them onto a head pin, and add them to the ends of your memory wire bracelet. So I did them at both ends. And I also like a big chunky memory wire bracelet. So if you take your memory wire and add more and more beads, you can create a chunkier statement piece. And this is also another way to elevate that design. You almost get a wrap bracelet effect here. Look at all of those clusters of beads together. So the more color you add, the more shapes you add, it's just going to elevate your memory wire designs. Here's those metal pieces hanging out. They just add a little something extra, break up the pattern. So many things that you can do with memory wire to elevate the look of memory wire. Now, you can do simple bracelets and create multiples of them, just maybe one round of the memory wire, and that works as well. But just to give you some ideas of how you might elevate your memory wire designs. So I wanted to also give you guys a little bit of info on products. So in the shopping bag are some memory wire products. So you will see, you'll see this, sorry, this package is torn up. You'll see some Beadalon memory wire. You'll also see some basic elements. This is made by Beadsmith. I've got some in silver. I've got some in gold. And there's also a kit that comes with end caps. So this one comes with end caps. And I've not played around with these a ton. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. I've not played around with this specific one, but I wanted to make you aware that this is something that you can pick up. These little beads can be glued on to the end of your bracelet to add a little bit of a metallic accent, and it prevents you from needing to do a loop at the end. There's a couple of other ways that you can achieve that, and I want to show you those as well. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull this over. So I've got this recycle cardboard here. I'm always using pieces of cardboard from that I don't want to send to the landfill for my messy work that I do. So this is another one of the end caps, and this one is a little bit smaller. So this one is offered by Beadalon. So Beadalon has a product called Remembrance. A lot of their memory wire used to be tagged as Remembrance products. And this is a 3 millimeter little end bead that you glue on. I glued this on this morning, and I'm testing just to make sure it's holding. And this is a way that you can end your bracelet. So I think these may be sold individually. I can't remember if they are, but I picked up a few to be able to play with them. Now, I didn't want to glue this on while we were creating, but I wanted to show you this and show you that this is another way to sort of elevate your design. Sometimes our loops at the end of the bracelets might not be too appealing for some folks, so maybe putting an end cap on your bracelet is another way to achieve that. Now, full disclosure, I played with this for the first time as well. This, let me move this one out of the way. This is a little item from JBB, and this is a sterling silver crimp memory wire end cap. Now, I played around with this just a little bit. I haven't fully tested this, but you can put this onto the end, and I would use glue. So it's a little tube. And I would put glue in I can show you how to do that in a minute, on the memory wire. And then you would do some crimping activity to crimp this down and make it part of the end of your bracelet. This allows you to still add dangles to the end. It could also allow you to do a clasp. So if you were to put one on the other end, I'll show you what that would look like. I'll talk about glue in a second, Santa Barbara girl. So this is what it would look like on the other end. You could add a clasp to this. If you wanted a lobster claw, you could add that to this. But, most of the time, memory wire doesn't really need a clasp. So this is just another way to maybe make your design look a little bit more elevated. So you would have all of your beads all around, and then this little spacing of metal and a loop at the end that is a perfect loop, unlike maybe a loop that might not be quite as perfect when you make it yourself. So there are also finial beads. So this is a product that we have lots of different options for. So this is a finial bead. A finial bead is a bead that is half drilled. So most of the time when you see a bead, it has a hole drilled all the way through it. And that bead allows you to string it on and, use it in a lot of different ways. This bead has one hole and it does not have a hole on the other side. So it's halfway drilled through the bead. But what this can do for you is also create the end of a bracelet. So a memory wire bracelet, you can take this and drop this on. These come in a ton of different colors. I put a few of them in the shopping bag, but there are more. So if you want to go and check out, I see happy birthday, Tracy. Tracy, I didn't see the original post, but happy birthday to you, my friend. So this is a way to finish off your bracelet. So if you've got beads that have similar colors, you can grab a color that matches. Now, I want to show you how I do this. There's lots of different ways that you can apply these beads onto your memory wire. This is the glue I use. E6000 is a pretty standard glue for the gluing of things in jewelry making. Now, typically I don't glue beads, but in this case, you really do need to glue your bead. It won't stay on otherwise. So this is how I do it. So I've got an end here of my memory wire. I've got my finial bead, and I'm actually going to set that finial bead down. And I'm going to actually take my memory wire end and I'm going to push it into the glue. So I'm going to get some glue on the end of my memory wire, and it's going to be a little clumpy perhaps, but what you're going to want to do is take that end, and I've got to look around the side of the camera here. Then you're going to press that bead onto the end, and you'll want to clean off some of that excess glue, but I do a easy little pressing on that and let that dry. You want to let this dry for at least probably 45 minutes or so to get a nice good hold at the end. But see, we've got some options for finishing off our design. So this is elevating your memory wire. So we can do the traditional loop at the end, or we can add a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more of a finishing technique to make this piece look nice. So you can still see my glue on there. I would clean that off after this dries, but you've got the metal remembrance ones. You've got the finial. These are Czech Glass. I don't think I mentioned that. And these are really great. They come in amazing, all different colors, like a ton of different colors. So these ones, I thought I would show because they're metallic. This is matte metallic flax. So it's a nice gold, pretty color. So if you've got the gold memory wire, you can pop those onto the end. So these are just some options for finishing. And I've got all of these in the show. These little ends, these little crimp ends. I haven't fully tested this, you guys, but if anybody has used these, I would love to hear about your experience with these, because I've not really tried them out. I glued this one on. It feels like it's holding well, and I actually did kind of a traditional crimp on it. So it looks to me like it would work. I haven't officially tried it yet with the beads on it. So giving you some ideas, giving you some thoughts. And I thought the next thing I would show you is what I like to do in finishing my memory wire. So let me grab these really quickly, find my memory wire. So memory wire is the kind of thing, if you don't know this already, You don't want to use your good cutters. So if you have, let me find my cutters. So these cutters, these beautiful cutters by Beadalon, please do not use these for your memory wire. They will get marred and you will leave chunks, like indentations on these if you try to cut this hardcore wire with these kinds of cutters. So if you've got these memory wire or if you've got these cutters, you've got a myriad of cutters out there. Please don't use your good cutters. Get yourself some memory wire cutters. These are very affordable and a worthy investment for anybody that works with memory wire. This is really the only tool you need for working with memory wire. You must do a pinky pact with me that this is the only kind of cutter you're going to use. Unless, of course, you've got a janky old pair of pliers from the garage. That might be okay. But this is the kind of thing, if you want to make this kind of a bracelet or necklace, or you can also make earrings and rings, this is the only tool you really need to create that is specific to working with this material. So when I work with memory wire, I usually am thinking about a design that's more than one round. So a round is the circumference of a piece of wire. So it's going to be where that wire meets up to the next round. So this is all, all comes like a slinky. And I'm always thinking about a multi-strand memory wire bracelet. So I'm thinking about cutting off, and when I cut it so that my first end is here, but I want my other end to be kind of across from that piece. So I don't want to cut it here. I want to cut it at this end. Just my preference. And cutting memory wire is super easy. You just drop that onto your memory wire onto those cutters and just cut away. And now I've got what I would call a multi-strand bracelet, and I've got my wire ends kind of apart from each other. Now here's where, if you wanted to add one of those end caps, one of those Remembrance by Beadalon, or one of the finial beads, or even one of these larger ones from the Basic Elements kit, you would cut your wire, glue on your end, and let it dry. Let it sit. Go take a break. Have a cup of coffee. Sip of iced tea. I'm actually grabbing a sip of coffee myself. And you would let that sit and dry if you were going to use the ends. But if you don't want to wait, because gluing does take some wait time, you can curl your ends. So a lot of times I see the general instruction for finishing off the end of a bracelet is, so here's the Beadalon packaging. They will show you here, just take your round nose pliers and bend your wire down towards the end of your piece. So you would go, actually I'm going to grab my round nose. Do I have round nose here? I do. So if you want to just do a simple loop at the end, you would grab that wire and you would take your memory wire, or take your round nose pliers and push the wire down towards your memory wire. So you can go inwards and press that loop inwards. You could also go opposite and have your loop facing outwards. That is an option as well. So that's one way that you can end your piece. Now, This is not my favorite way to end. I like to add a little coil. I think a coil is a little bit more secure. So if you're adding something here and you can't quite get this end closed because memory wire is so tough, I like a little coil, and I think the coil adds just a little bit of flair. It kind of elevates the look. So this is how I do it. And you can use round nose pliers, but I love these. So these are the memory wire finishing pliers by Beadalon. This, I think, is one of the most amazing inventions that I've seen in a tool. And this was from years back, but this is one of my absolute favorite must-have tools. You'll see it's 2 barrels. Now, this is easy to use for all kinds of projects. This is a round nose, a bail making plier that is small, has these little short bail making barrels. It can be used for anything, but it was marketed originally for memory wire, and I use it mostly for memory wire. And I've got 2 different options for creating my loops with this. So this is what I like to do. This is how I like to finish my ends. So here's the traditional end. I like to create a coil. So let's see if I can do this so that you can see it nicely on camera. What you want to do, one of the keys is getting that, the tip of your wire in between those barrels to start with. So that will help you get a cleaner, nicer coil. And I'm going to, and you have to get it just right. And I'm going to take it and use my plier and my hands to create a coil. So and that one's not a good one, but I'm going to show you how I can fix that too. So I'm going to coil that around a few times. And so here's a coil that is not good. Let me show you how you can fix that though, if you happen to get it this way. Chain nose pliers or flat nose pliers, you can come in and you can press that down. So if your coil is not good, you can come in and you can manipulate that coil so that it is nice and flat. And now look, you've got this little metallic accent at the end. So I like to finish mine this way, and I coil it back towards the wire, kind of underneath the wire, but you can also coil it the other direction. I'll show you that. Let me trim off the end here. So I'm going to take that off, and let me show you the backwards coil. So using my same pliers, and you could do a larger coil if you want, or you can add a larger, just a larger loop with this as well. I like the smaller one, and I'm just going to grab the end, and I want to get in there. So you might have to reposition, and you're just going to coil that around. And that's going to coil upwards. And if you've got that expanded like that again, just come in with your flat nose pliers. And now I've got one that's facing outwards. So you can do whatever you would like, whatever is a preference. Now, this is a way that you can add. So I see add a charm. This is where you can add your charm. You can add your dangles, and there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. So what I like to do is I like to wire wrap directly onto something unless I can't. So you can take your head pin with your bead and you can attach it directly here and do your wrapping. So this is a nice coiled loop where something is going to have a hard time getting out of there. It's going to take a lot of manipulation to get out of there. Here, you could potentially lose something. You can tighten this up a little bit, but you still are a little bit vulnerable with just one loop. So you could also come in here with a jump ring and your charm. So if you've got a charm, I actually have a really pretty, leaf charm to show you. This is beautiful. This is an Art Bead sterling silver small leaf charm. This is great for this time of year and any time of year, really. This is lovely. It's a two-sided piece, gorgeous quality, nice sterling piece. So you can come in with a jump ring. I actually didn't put jump rings out. Let me grab some jump rings. So you can come in with your jump ring. Let me find one in here. So you can come in with a jump ring. I like to use a small jump ring, the smallest that will work. And I'm going to open that up, grab my charm, and grab my charm. And I'm going to just take that and put that on to both of the coils there and close my jump ring up. And then you've got a nice, way to attach your dangle and your charm. Actually, did I actually put it into? Yeah, I did. There we go. So that's going to hang nicely. And with a coil like this, you can actually attach multiple things. So in the case of that bracelet I showed in the beginning, I did little trios. So I was able to, with my coil, attach two dangles and a charm here, and then 3 dangles here. So that's how I like to end mine. A couple of different ways, coils, loops, whatever you prefer. And if you do find yourself with this, so when you have that little opening and you're worried about losing your piece, you could come in with your round nose and just give it another kind of tug over. And memory wire is tough, so it wants to stay in the shape that it's in. So I got it a little bit further in. You could also give it a little bit of, a nudge with your flat nose. So flat nose pliers give you a nice big surface to hold onto your piece. So that actually pressed it in a little bit closer. So that's just a way to close that up if you find yourself in that situation where you're doing just a simple loop there at the end and you want to make sure you get as secure a closure to attach other things and to make sure that all of your beads are, safely and securely onto your memory wire. So just giving you some options for finishing and elevating those bracelets and for all kinds of fun things that you can do with them. Now, I wanted to show you this. Now, I thought about actually showing you how to do this today, but this is a very challenging project for memory wire. Now, last week, I introduced the Bohemian Waters Czech Glass bead strand assortment. And this one is divine. There are still some of these available. And I started playing with that this weekend. So let me pour these out. I started using this, this assortment, and I want to show you this bracelet. So I love a multi-strand bracelet. It's one of my favorite things to do. Here's all of our beautiful beads. So I love a multi-strand bracelet. You can do a multi-strand bracelet with memory wire. This is another way to elevate your memory wire game. So if you want to attempt a double-stranded bracelet like this is a cuff style. And I used some of these as my focal, these beautiful teal colored table cuts. Gorgeous. And I used some of these cubes. I used almost all of these cubes. These are absolutely beautiful ethereal cubes. And I also used these little tiny, these beads. I don't know that I can do them justice. When you see these, you will flip. They are the most beautiful tiny beads. They have this amazing finish on them. They're stunning. I also used seed beads. And I also used some fun little components in between my focal beads. And let me find those so I can show you those. I think I have them here. I had them here yesterday. Here they are. These are sterling silver 18 millimeter spiral links. So these have a loop at either end. And I strung these on to 2 different pieces of memory wire. So they are right here on the memory wire. I used 2 of them. Now, this is going to do a couple things for you. This is going to help keep your memory wire aligned so that it's not separating. So it's going to connect your 2 pieces of memory wire. So this is a fun swirly one, but there are also these, and these are on clearance, you guys. So if you want these, don't dilly-dally, because these are only going to be available until they run out or until they sell out. So these have loops on either end, but these aren't swirly. They're more of a bar, and they are super great for this kind of application. Hi, Julie P. So you can just use these as your focal and put beads in between them. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And so these are going to potentially be your connector pieces to hold your 2 pieces of memory wire together. So these are an option. There may be others. I can't remember if I found other options, but I liked this swirly one. It kind of looked interesting. And that one is sterling. These are both sterling silver, so they're very nice quality. And they're just acting as my connector pieces. And I've got these beads wire wrapped. So they're wire wrapped on either end and strung them on. And I did seed beads to separate. Then what I did was started to add other beads. So I used seed beads. These are 11.0 nickel. Let me find those. This is like one of my faves. You've probably seen me use these before. These are 11.0 in nickel. This is a staple item. I can't live without these in my studio. So these are that's the continuity bead all throughout this piece. So it gives it a textured metallic vibe. And then I've got those little small fire polish and these nice, cool, flat square beads. And then to attach my ends, I created these wire wrapped little square beads at the very tips. So I did my little coils at the ends. So I don't know if you can see that coil. And then I wire wrapped directly on and created these ends. Thank you, Julie. Yes, this is fun. So this is another way to elevate memory wire. So the cool thing about memory wire, you guys, if you, I'm sure you all know this, but if you don't, memory wire is the kind of thing that if you're worried about sizing of a bracelet, you don't really need to worry about it because it's going to fit most. So, most of the time, memory wire is going to fit most. So this is a cuff style. I don't need a clasp. And now I've created this cool statement piece. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And it's just a different way to use that memory wire. Take it from a simple round design to a cool cuff design. And you can do a cuff with one strand, and you can end your cuff so that it's not meeting or crossing over. But a two-strand cuff is really amazing and really fun. So thank you for the hearts, you guys. Oh, Jean, thank you. And thanks, Bonnie. I love, but I'll tell you guys, just full disclosure, I've worked with memory wire for as long as I can remember. Creating this is challenging. So especially when you don't know exactly what you're going to do. So holding on to two pieces, keeping the beads on both pieces. That's why I did not choose to show this today, but we could do this sometime. We could do a two-stranded memory wire cuff bracelet. We'd have to buckle up for probably an hour or so, a little more, because it is a fiddly, difficult, challenging project, but it's so worth it when it's done. This took me probably a little over an hour to do, but with a little bit of trial and error, moving things around, that kind of thing. So this is just another fun way to elevate your memory wire, do something a little bit different with memory wire, create something fun. And these beads, wow, really, really cool beads to work with for something like this. So we could do this project sometime, and we'll find the right beads to do it with. Now, I want to show you one other thing that is one of my favorite things. So I'm going to move these off to the side, and I want to talk about necklace memory wire. So, I thought I got all of my stickers off. I did not. This one's not going to come off nicely. Anyways, this is a bead-along necklace memory wire. So this might to you not look like a necklace. This is a big piece of memory wire compared to a bracelet memory wire. And this also comes in a gold. I think I put all that I could find in the shopping bag. There's also Beadsmith brand. So these are both really nice memory wire necklaces and necklace size pieces. And I like to do, one of my signature designs is an open front choker necklace. And I'm going to show you one I did before. These beads are not in the shop, or not in the shopping bag, but this piece I did a while back. It was a Halloween inspired choker necklace. And what I did to elevate this, so you can put beads on the memory wire, put seed beads in between or not, and you've got a cool necklace. But just like the bracelets, when you start to introduce some fun shapes, so these are thorns. Oh, thank you for the hearts, you guys. These are thorns. And we've got some melons. We've got some large fire polish. And there are seed beads throughout, creating that continuity. I also added a fun piece of chain. So this is going to hang down very elegantly onto your neck. So this is going to fit like a choker. And my intention is to wear this with the crisscross in the front. So this is going to dangle kind of along the side of your neck. And then this is one end. And I put a wire wrapped bead and then a bead on a chain. Thank you for the hearts. Oh my gosh. So just another cool elevation of memory wire. That's a fun one. Then, guys, one of my favorite bead strand assortments is the orange and copper. And it has all of this orange and copper goodness. It's got some of those little monkey beads. I pulled that one out and I created this choker. So this one has some of the leaf beads. So some of these amazing beads. I used some seed beads here too as our continuity. These, let me show you these. This is a nice metallic to have in your cachet. This is antique bronze. and one of my faves, and that is throughout. And I've got some of the square beads from that mix, from that assortment. And then I wire wrapped these cool matte beads on head pins. And they're just kind of going to dangle down the side of your neck. And then I did this little cascade of beads that will hang in the front. So, oh, thank you, Thaisa. This is one of my favorite things to do. Making choker necklaces is one of my favorite things, and open front chokers are what I love to do. It may not be for everybody, but I do my little coiled ends, and then I create just a little bit of something, little feminine something to hang. The little leaf beads are going to dangle down. They're so fun, so elegant and pretty. This is the perfect fall choker. So let's see, do I have, I think those are my only two examples. So I'm going to put one of these on and show you, but I just want to emphasize that if you've got a little bit of chain, so if you've got some chain, here's some beautiful chain. This is antique silver plated infinity link chain. You can add your little chain dangles like I did with the black one over here. You can actually add beads to this. So if you attach your links directly onto your memory wire, so if your links are large enough, you can just slide your link. Come on, where's my link? You can just slide your link right onto your memory wire, or you can use a jump ring to attach it. And you can then even attach beads to your chain and then put that around. So you've got beads potentially hanging down, and you could have beads hanging on your memory wire as well. So this is just, elevation of memory wire. Memory wire is not necessarily just for a single strand of single wrap and just single beads. You can put all kinds of fun things on your memory wire. So I just wanted to plug memory wire today, give you guys some beautiful memory wire options for jewelry making. And this guy's giving me some trouble here. So sometimes these will get a little kinked up at the ends, but your memory wire cuff is a super fun way to put this together. It's like, hiya, hello, friend. So that's a fun one. Oh, thank you for the hearts, you guys. So I'm going to flip up and show you these memory wire chokers, so you could see how they look. So this is, again, one of the things I love to make. It's something, if you follow me or have followed me for a long time, you may have seen me do chokers before. And I tell you, you guys, don't be afraid to wear chokers. They are so much fun. So you can see how the little dangle beads will hang down. Super fun. You have a little dangle here, and you can slide it over so that the dangles are in the front. And I've got some of that little leaf action off to the side. Fun. Then I'll show you this one. I know this is a teaser because these items are not in the show today, but I pulled this out to give you just another example of how this can look. Where's that chain piece? Here's that chain piece. So this one, I wear like this. So that chain will hang over here. I do this little crisscross here. The chain hangs here. I've also got a little dangle here and here. So it's just adding some texture and some interest. And if you do layers, I always say if you're doing a layered necklace or doing layered necklaces, add a layer up here. So you can do a short necklace, a longer necklace, a couple of longer necklaces, but you've still got room up here. So do a choker, and memory wire can get you there fast. So you can get a nice, fun memory wire choker piece. Look at the beautiful beads. I mean, if you've got a beautiful collection of beads to work with, this is a way to show them off in a choker style piece. All of that beautiful color, all of those beautiful, gorgeous beads. So I hope that you guys will get yourself some memory wire. Maybe it's time to stock up on your memory wire. Get some of these beautiful bead strand assortments, because it will mean you can make lots of these beautiful pieces. And yeah, this is a fun project. And you can also teach this project to a beginner. So it's a very beginner friendly project, but please pinky promise that you'll use memory wire cutters only. Zakiah says she made a blue lapis memory wire choker. I need to see that, Zach. Go to the Serious Art Beaters Facebook group and post it. We want to see it. So thank you guys for being here today. Please don't forget to check out of your carts. Some items are limited or maybe limited edition products like our bead strand assortments. Please check those out. Remember, today is the last day of the bead sale, 30% off, free shipping over $49, and that gift with purchase, which is a memory wire bracelet, which is so elevated with our little Halloween charm and our skull. Oh, so cute. Don't miss out. Those deals end at the end of today. And I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the hearts. I will see you next week. Have a wonderful and creative week. Don't forget about Beadtober. We want to see those designs. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye now.